are we just diving into the deep end? No hello, no
Let's
hi.
go.
I really do believe motherhood was my glow up. I'm the girl that rose above my circumstances. I'm already authentically me. What you see is basically what you get. The grace that I have can only unlock the doors that are meant for me.
For you.
If you're able to build relationships with the people behind the brand. So social currency, I think,
Social currency.
is one of the biggest factors. I can be a bad anything, but I'm not a bad mother child. I flourish in that regard.
Hey sis, and welcome back to the She Is Sustenance podcast. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Charmaine Sibusiso. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're listening on podcast streaming sites, make sure that you subscribe, leave a 5-star rating so more creatives like you can get this beautiful word that we get from our creative entrepreneurs, and leave a review as well. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you like, you comment, you subscribe. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so excited because we have another amazing episode lined up for you guys. We have one of my favorite content creators with me today, and I'm so excited for you guys to get all the wisdom and knowledge that she's giving with this episode. But before we go into that, let me give you our weekly check-in. So I feel like I'm very disciplined with myself of late. It's easy to be disciplined, even though it's painful. It is not easy to discipline yourself, and I've been learning that. And with discipline has been coming consistency and just growth, more internally than externally. And I've been really enjoying seeing myself grow. And so that's where I am with our weekly mental check-in. But let's get into today's episode. Today's guest is one of Zimbabwe's most influential digital creators. Vanessa Chipanga, fondly known as official Melanin Kween, is a YouTuber, content creator, and founder of The Mummy Edit, a growing community created to help mothers heal, grow, and glow together. Over the years, she's built a trusted personal brand, working with leading brands like EcoCash and Simbisa, while documenting motherhood, family life, and entrepreneurship with authenticity. In today's episode, we're talking about building community, growing a brand with integrity, and what it really takes to create content that lasts. Please help me welcome Vanessa. Okay, so before we go into the questions, I like to start with a discussion, right?
Okay.
And my discussion point for you is based off of the Mummy Edit. So building communities before building influence. The creator economy is shifting from chasing followers to building communities.
Yeah.
More creators are launching memberships, private communities, live experiences, and events instead of relying on brand deals. Okay? Although you get the bag for brand deals.
Period.
That's what I'll put in there. But do you think we're moving away from simply being influencers and becoming community builders? You've done that through the Mummy Edit. Why do you think community members are more important than content?
I feel like, why are we just diving into the deep end? No hello, no
Let's
hi.
go.
Like,
We'll come back and say hi after.
so I do feel like the influencer culture has shifted from the time that we started. Because I know the time that I started becoming a content creator / influencer, whatever people like to term me as, there was
Creative entrepreneur.
period. There was a type of influencer that was valid at that point, and I feel like that was the girl that everybody aspired to be like, right? But if you notice the shift, people now want people that they resonate with, people that understand who they are, and people that they can see themselves through, if that makes sense. So with the Mummy Edit, for example, I decided to build a community because I realized that me posting cute selfies and pictures of me isn't enough. People want to find a place where they belong. Because once then you build a community, people feel like they fit in easily. So with the Mummy Edit, this was me finding myself after birth. I really do believe motherhood was my glow up, and
I love that.
God inspired me to start a community for mothers to see motherhood in a positive light, right? Because I think maybe 60% of the content out there is against motherhood, but it's such a beautiful thing, such a beautiful concept if you want to become a mother. Therefore, the trajectory of my content shifted from being a baddie to actually building a community that's meaningful. So if then I'm to try and sell like a baby product or endorse a baby brand to someone in my community, they're already trusted because they're in a trusted space that I've built.
That's such a good point. Right. I said before we go into the interview, I want you to let me know what made you have the realization that you ought to pivot. It's time to pivot your brand from just being a baddie, because you can appeal to baddie moms, but like the mommy edit is more ministry and calling and community and love. Not that the baddie audience doesn't have that. Hear me correct. You know, you have to be so sensitive with things that you say
You
on the
do,
internet.
because it may be misconstrued, like in a negative light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not that it doesn't exist, but for you specifically to make it more of a ministry offering in your community, what gave you the mindset to be able to pivot?
Okay, like I mentioned, after I had my baby, I felt like an itch to serve in this space of motherhood. I knew that I was never going to be a gynecologist because I don't like, it's not that deep, it's not that serious, okay? But I knew that there was space for me to take up there. So I was fighting it because I also didn't want it to seem like my identity is gone. Like there was Taliwa, there was Vanessa before my Ariko, and I still wanted her to live. But I had to come to terms with the fact that both can coexist, even though at this moment in time, one might have to outshine the other. And the moment I realized was when God put me in a situation to then actually be a labor support for an individual. That's when I realized that I was meant to be here. And coincidentally, we had the same doctor, same guy, same gynae, same pediatrician.
So you were a labor support.
Yes.
Okay.
We had the same doula, sorry, not doula, same pediatrician, same gynae. And just after the baby was born, the ped said to me, "You're going to be a doula after this." And it made so much sense. It was like a...
So you were such a help during the birthing process.
From the time that she was having her first contraction, like when it wasn't that serious, the time when the baby popped out.
You were like coaching her through her
Basically,
birthing
but I didn't know what I was doing, but it felt so natural.
Wow.
It felt so natural. And when she said those words, it was like a puzzle piece that just fit into a whole thing. And that's when I started the mommy edit. And yeah, I recently completed a doula course so that I may be able to serve. Thank you. Thank you. So, in that moment, I think that's when I've been fighting this assignment, because I'm like, why can't I still be me? But then I realized, no, God is calling me for something else that needs me to step out of what I'm used to and step into the next level.
That is such a... we really went bypass the hellos, because like I want to really understand. For those who don't know what a doula is, please explain that. And then it's such a sacred thing. Like you are part of bringing life into another realm. Such a spiritual thing. And because I know that you're a Jesus girl, I want you to kind of let me know what that experience is like, involving Christ and being able to be like a go-between, you know, or an interceder for the mother at that point in time. So what is a doula and how do you intercede?
I think, okay, not I think, a doula is basically birth support, but in the non-medical context. So you're there physically, you're there emotionally, basically support to help alleviate or help the mother manage the pain. Because there are situations where you clenching your jaw, clenching your body kind of slows down the process of like labor. But when you...
Girl, you have one kid and you figured all of this out.
Period. Yeah. What you mean? That baby was out in 4 hours and I'm a first time mommy. So put some respect.
Wow.
But yeah. You're basically that. So the more you relax your body, the more it's easy going for you. Results may vary, but you need to be in your most comfortable state in order to have an easier birth. So that's the role of the doula, to remind you to breathe, to remind you to calm down, and to just help alleviate the pain in the moment. So you can have your birth doula who's there during the birth, and your postpartum doula, which is also what I'm going to be venturing into, who's going to be there for the mom after birth. Because I realized after the baby's out, no one really cares about the mother. I'm here for the baby, I want to see the baby, I want to see the baby. So you need people that are actually going to be there and nurse the mother. Because the wound when you give birth is the size of a dinner plate, right? Inside your womb. And you're still expected to show up for everybody else regardless. Who's taking care of the person that brought life into this world? Because if you think about it, it's an egg and a sperm, which is now correlating to how amazing God is. How does that form life, form a soul, form a little heart, form toes, fingers, skin, lashes, eyes?
Lashes is crazy.
Exactly my point.
Literally.
The intricacy and the details. I was looking at my son when he was born. I'm looking at his little veins on his cheek, and I'm like, how?
Wow.
How
Wow.
did an
Your
imperfect
attention
person
to,
like me create such a perfect being?
I love that. Your attention to what birthing produces, I think affirms your call to
Yeah.
being in that space and that
And it
ministry.
also affirms the majesty of God.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Ah, I feel like when I have a baby, I'm gonna call you to be my
Hit
doula
me
because
up.
like that is so cool though.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're starting the interview.
Okay. Hi.
Okay. Hi.
Okay, let's begin.
Okay, so you're Vanessa, you're Tadiwa, but to your fans and followers and internet family, your official Melanin Queen. Okay. Who is the girl behind the brand before you even had an audience?
I am the girl who grew up for the better part of my life in privilege, right? And then life just switched from having everything, from being spoiled, rotten by my father to, oh, there's nothing. Quarter to poverty, if I can put it that way. And despite it all, I'm the girl that rose above my circumstances. I remember there's situations where you would even go to bed without eating because it just wasn't a luxury we had at some point, you know. And this not saying our parents didn't do enough, no, but life happens. You are Jesus girl, you know, Kuti. Sometimes spiritual things happen. Sometimes physical things happen. A lot happens in life. But I think one thing I learned at an early age is, number one, no one is coming to save you. Everybody has a sad story. Everybody's going through things. There's nothing special about your sad story. What are you going to do to elevate from that sphere that you're in? Number two, I realized that life was unfair to me, but if I don't heal, I'm going to hurt people because hurt people, because that's what I know, right? So it was up to me to rise from the ashes and work on my healing so that I can become better. It did take time. I did cut a few people, but I'm just a girl, an imperfect girl who's loved by a perfect God and trying to elevate and become better every day.
I like that. That is such a quotable. I'm
Quote
going to put a picture of you and put a quote, like quote of the week.
That would be so cute.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like listening to you, it makes sense because you're a soft girl. Your content is soft girl, you know? And the struggle was necessary for relatability to everyone else that's called to your platform. But who you are in essence can't be lost, regardless of the struggles that life throws at you. If you're a soft girl from birth, you are a soft girl, period. That's just it. Okay. To me, you're one of the biggest YouTubers in the country.
Oh,
to me. I always say that. I have to clarify. To me.
To you.
You
to
know?
her.
Yes. People, you have to be clear on the internet. People be like, oh no, but this person has that many followers. I'm not
talking about this person.
I just said to me.
Thank you.
You have a very supportive YouTube community.
I really do.
You're great on TikTok and Instagram and so forth. But your YouTube community, I feel like in essence, the YouTube kind of migrates to the other platforms, where it's normally that people from other platforms migrate to YouTube. But your YouTube community is so great.
Thank you.
How has motherhood changed who you are on YouTube? And how has your YouTube content specifically changed? And how has your community been able to transition with you and even expand because of your motherhood?
So the beauty about my community is that these are people, majority of the people are around my age range. So most people are actually having babies. They're finding life partners. They're launching businesses, finding themselves, etc., etc. So I don't feel like there was that much of a shift, and I'll explain why. Because I'm always true to myself during my content. There was a time where I would post videos of me getting lit, you know, with a bottle of Tanqueray and, you know, downing it. And I never took it down because I also want people to see that evolution is not a one-day gig. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't much of a, oh my God, I'm pivoting, I have to think about it. No, it was just a natural progression for me because I'm already authentically me. What I show you, what you see is basically what you get, right? So it wasn't very difficult. And also I'm grateful for my community because the reception was so amazing. And I think also the engagement was good. The people checking on me and also people coming to me with stories of, I was doing this alone, but I started watching your YouTube and it felt like I had a big sister holding my hand during. And I'm like,
I
this
see a
is
lot
just
of
me,
that.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is just me sharing my life. What do you mean me going to the gynae? Hi guys, I'm going to the gynae. Hi guys, I'm going to buy diapers. And someone is like, you held my hand through it, which is really fascinating for me. So I really do feel like my community just goes with the flow, if
It
that
was
makes
an
sense.
organic
It was
transition.
very organic.
Okay. There's a question that I said I want to ask you
Sure.
about before this. You document, you're very open and honest with your platform, right? You document it's our nephew. We're the internet aunties and real life aunties.
Yeah.
But
Yes, real.
this real life aunties.
I didn't say that, guys.
But you document him, we've gotten to see him also grow and become like this little person with his own opinions and so forth. But I came across a post on TikTok.
Yeah.
And we both love Aaliyah's face as well. And you heard her saying that she's not going to be sharing her baby online. And people are apprehensive about sharing images of children because of AI and all of that stuff. How do you still show up as your authentic self, share your experience of motherhood fully by sharing pieces, because it's not your entire life, sharing pieces of your life and showing glimpses of your son, and still keep him guarded from the perversities of the internet?
Okay. So I haven't yet been exposed to that in its intensity. And I did see the same AI conversation where they can use baby pictures to then sort of mimic. I don't really understand, but basically, I don't know how to articulate it. But I think if you guys saw the article, you know what I mean. Yeah. So my idea of posting is not necessarily looking at the negative, because always when you look at the negative, you will find a reason not to do something, right?
It amplifies.
Before you started this podcast, you could have thought, what if people speak negatively of me? That could have stopped you from doing something, but you don't really think about the noise.
Of course.
Right? My idea of posting my son is when he grows up, I want him to see how loved and how cherished he was. I want him to see how excited I was for every swimming lesson, for his birth, for every birthday, for every whatever. Because me growing up, we had a large picture album, but if I tell you today, I don't even have one picture of myself, and I'd have loved to see that growing up. I'd have loved to show my kids. And things happen. What if I lose those pictures? The internet doesn't forget. And I want him to see, maybe like 30, 40 years from now, I won't be around. I want him to be able to look at that and say, wow, my mom was really passionate about raising me. Because I think if you look at my Instagram, you can see that I can be a bad anything, but I'm not a bad mother child. I flourish in that regard.
I can be a bad anything, but I'm not a bad mother.
Yes, I'm not a bad mother. I'm a great mother.
I think my favorite sentence that you said is that you are passionate. You are passionate about raising him. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
That's an intense love. Like you put your all into being a
God
good mother.
trusted me with a blank canvas. What I paint on that canvas is up to me, and I have to now answer to God about what I did with that canvas. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the fact that I was trusted with a soul, that's not a small thing.
Yeah.
I have to be very diligent. I'm privileged to have that boy in my house. Hence his name, Arikoishe. He's a testament that the Lord is there.
The Lord is there. I love that.
Thank you.
Okay. So clearly motherhood is a ministry.
It is.
To you,
It
right?
is.
And you've extended your experience with ministry to your community, the Mommy Edit. And it's done so well for a new platform.
Thank you.
You've
I'm
managed
also
to
surprised you.
you've done something that's been able to connect to people's hearts and the thirst that people have. The reason people are drawn to it is because people actually need what you are sharing with them. When did you realize that mothers didn't just need content, they need community? Because it's great, like you're a big sister, you're holding my hand and your content is great, but what made you realize that, like, I actually need to create a space for mothers?
I used to think that I've experienced loneliness in my life, but the two most lonely phases were when I felt pregnant and postpartum.
Okay.
And even though you have a partner, which I am privileged to have someone who's present, it's not the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? He will never understand what it means to go and push a baby out of your body, what it means to have cravings or to have swollen feet or to be hypertensive. He will never understand those things, no matter how hard he tries, no matter how many books he reads. So you need someone that actually resonates with what it is you're trying to explain. Oh my gosh, I've got backaches after I gave birth. Oh yeah, me too. Have you tried this, you know? And sometimes we don't always get that community from the people around us, the family we're born with. Because times have changed also. The things that worked Kudara and the things that work now,
it's not the same anymore.
You know? So if you don't have that at home, why not find communities that are there? I know, for example, I've got the Mommy Edit. There's also the Moms Reset. There's also Mamahood, Grounded Mamas Co. These are mothers that are realizing that there are gaps and people need people. You cannot exist as an island. There are times where I would crash out and I couldn't be able to take a bath or do anything because the baby just needed so much attention. But when I realized quickly that I can't do this alone, was when the ball game shifted for me. And I think that's what then birthed the Mommy Edit and said, look, we need spaces to just breathe and pour back into self. Because as a mother, if you're drained, what are you pouring into another person if you don't have anything inside you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. I think that's so necessary. I've been exposed to different mothers who are having that challenge.
Yeah.
Like, people carry it with grace. You guys do an amazing job. You carry it with grace. It looks good. But in reality, like,
it's taxing.
Someone's, I just need to take a nap. The
Something
baby's
as
sleeping, I
little
just
as
need
that.
to take a nap. I don't have a social battery anymore. I need to be a wife at the same time. I need to take care of a household. It's just,
sometimes
there's a lot
you're an
going
employee,
Yeah.
you're a daughter, you're a sister. Kukafiwa, you are needed to be
And
there.
you need
If
to
there's a
show up.
birthday, you need to be there, you know. So you're still required to show up, but who's showing up for you?
For
So
you.
that's the Mommy Edit, basically. We are showing up for the mothers. We're that thing that the mothers need.
I love that. Can you let us know about the next event?
Oh, it's Mommy Matcha, 22nd of August, Pilates, Matcha, conversation, all the good stuff. With the first one, which was the Mommyscape, it was more on the emotional aspect and getting moms to dress up, okay? Because we know that really happens. So with Mommy Matcha, we are targeting wellness, movement, and you want your child to move, you want your child to be in sports, but you don't even lift a single weight or take a walk. So kids do they copy what we do, not what we say. So we want to lead that example and start like moving more and being more active. So mind, body, soul. Those are the pillars of the Mommy Edit. So this one is the body part.
Mind, body, soul. Yeah. All right. So moving away from the Mommy Edit, which is beautiful, you actually are a very influential influencer.
Really?
You've built a brand. You work with a lot of amazing corporate brands.
Yes.
Corporate giants, if we're being honest, in the country. Eco Cash, Pizza Inn, and so many more. What brand trusted you with their voice? Which brand first believed in you? Sorry, let me reword that. Which brand first believed in you in a corporate capacity?
I'd like to say Simbisa brands as a whole, because I used to dabble with different different brands under Simbisa. So like your Steers, I've done work with them and but the brand that fully said, okay, yeah, I think was Pizza Inn in the corporate capacity. And I am really grateful for them taking a chance on me, because I've been with them, I think, for almost over a year now. Or is it almost a year? I'm not really sure. But sometimes I literally had a pinch me moment where I'm like, I used to pray and say, God, may my name be in rooms that I am not in, right? And this is a situation where how many influencers are in the country?
Yeah.
Aspiring and established. Some bigger, some better than me. I'm not the biggest, I'm not the best. But when our names were put in that room, all these people saw it fit to have me represent and carry the name Pizza Inn.
Is such a crazy
Exactly. Thing. So this is something that I learned of yesterday. Not learned, but I was inspired by it yesterday. And it showed me something about grace. And grace is like a key. The grace that I have can only unlock the doors that are meant for me.
For you.
Right?
Yeah.
So no matter what, as long as God says, look, this is where you're meant to be. No hail, no thunder, no storm is going to come between that. And also, I also think the action that I took, because I've worked really hard, and sometimes you get to a point where you feel like, is this good enough? Or maybe I'm not the best. Maybe I'm never going to get it. But God is always reminding you, no, just keep pushing. And that obedience then also kind of comes into play. So with Pizza Inn, that was one of the first brands to be like, okay, yeah, we want you to represent us. And
I love that. I love what you're talking about. Grace, one of my favorite passages of scripture in Revelation 3, and it says, the one who has the key of David, and when he opens a door, no one can shut it, and if he shuts it, no one can open it. If the key is for you, it's for you, and you go from glory to glory. Like, you don't start off in extreme glory, it goes in phases. I was looking at your recent EcoCash video. Yeah, my time.
That is crazy.
Wow.
Thank you.
I said, okay, are we in Zimbabwe together?
We're elevating.
Because come on storytelling, come on script, come on, like, you're advertising and promoting the brand without it being so obvious, because I'm now interested in what you're doing with your life. But then, oh, you're using EcoCash. Oh, the super app.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe let me download it as well.
Have you downloaded the super app?
Actually, let me download it as well. Let me download it as well.
Be your people is all I'm saying.
Let me tell you, I bought a Terrific Tuesday pizza just because you told me that it was being sold.
Yeah, okay. Super large double deals. Thank you.
Super large double deals.
Thank you very much.
Okay. There was a time I didn't know that there were like wings at Pizza. I ordered the wings on the app because you posted that they were wings. So you're influencing me. We're on the way. Yes, we're on the way.
I saw a super app.
Where they? I want to win. Aren't there prizes? What are the prizes?
A car.
Let me download
then
the
a cow.
Let me start my livestock journey.
Period.
Call me Farmer Charmaine.
I love it.
Sponsored,
it's got a nice ring to it by EcoCash. Chak. Yes.
Okay, I love that so much. Simisa Brands has done amazing for you. But when you look at it, because you've had grace and favor, but also there's work, because faith without works is dead. There's work and energy that you put behind that. What makes a brand choose you? When you look at the work that you've delivered, and yes, there's God's grace and God's favor, but you're also doing something behind that.
Listen, the short answer is grace.
That's the short answer. But because some people have, now that's where they say as Christians we have religious psychosis because we think we don't have to work for things.
Yeah. So, like I said, faith without works is dead, right? So you need to actually be, okay, let's say, for example, a corporate is the bus and they're looking for influencers or passengers to enter the bus. Can also not meet up at a bus stop and you won't be able to get into the bus, or the bus won't be able to stop for you, right? So you taking the initiative to go to the bus stop is you putting in the work and putting yourself out there for the brands, which is the bus, to come pick you up and to see you. But it's not a one size fits all, because I know people that deserve so much recognition, so much light, and the algorithm does them dirty. I'll give you, for example. You post so much, but the algorithm just does you dirty.
Girl.
Which is just, no, you don't post anymore. But I'm saying your content is so good. And there were times where you're so consistent.
Yeah.
But the algorithm is just like, so there's so many people like that. So if I tell you, oh guys, post every day, take your vitamins, it doesn't work like that, I believe. But I also strongly believe that if you keep knocking, one day the door will open for you. But you also have to understand that it's also about the brand that you're putting out there, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
You can't just post like controversy and expect brands to work with you. And this is my opinion, right?
It is the opinion.
Okay, the opinion. There are some brands that don't mind the controversy, but I think with corporate branding, they are very cautious about what they attach to their brand. And yes, it is that deep. So I've tried very much to, not, if I say curate, it will seem like I'm faking a lifestyle, but they're just things that I'm not comfortable putting on the internet. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
There are things that are accessible to the public, but they're just things that I don't feel like belong on the internet. Because at the end of the day, we're talking earlier about the digital footprint. Junjokti, you might take lightly, but
it matters.
It matters,
especially in a corporate sense.
So you have to be cautious about the things that you're putting out there. And also, I believe very much in networking. If you're able to build relationships with the people behind the brands, because in your head, okay, I want to work with Nivea.
You hear you from your lips to God's ears.
Yeah. All right, and let's say I'm to come here for like a social gathering and I meet the marketing director of whatever company that's handling Nivea. By virtue of the relationship we have, they might then consider me first. So be cautious about when you go out and how you treat people, because how then people meet you is kind of a determining factor on where they place you in life. Because that person or that person you're mistreating could be the next doorway to your next opportunity, if that makes sense. So social currency, I think,
Social currency
is one of the biggest factors. So clean up your image, clean up your brand. And cleaning up doesn't mean you're fake. You know, just choose what to put out there and what not to put out there. Not everybody has to know what color underwear you're wearing, or, you know, it's not. I'm sorry, I'm being a bit too, but like, I feel like we're losing kafilda. You know what I mean? Like, we're becoming
shame doesn't
too
exist
comfortable
anymore.
Like, have shame, actually. Just have shame.
Yeah.
So have shame. And social currency is also going to take you places. I think, some of the brands that I've worked with based off of relationship and social currency.
Okay. So how do you manage to keep your amen heavy on grace?
Yeah.
How do you manage to keep your content authentic and there's still Vanessa inside of that, but continuing to sell a product?
You should know what your boundaries are before you start content curation. Like with Alia's face, she knows, Kuti, my child is not going to be on the internet. For some people, they're comfortable with having their kids on the internet. Me personally, my marriage is not up for discussion. I'm not going to be one of those philosophers about marriage, and no, because I'm just a baby, you know. So I know for a fact that this part of my life, you will see my husband, you will know I'm married. I will post things about us going on dates and stuff, but I'm not going to give you advice about it. That's something that I've consciously told myself it's out of the picture. And there are other facets of my life that I've just, including my family, my close family, that aren't on social media out of respect for them, because you can come for me, but if you come after the people I love, for me, that's like, so I just choose to then create a buffer around that. So I then pick, okay, I'm a lifestyle influencer. What parts of my lifestyle am I comfortable showing? Me not showing certain parts does not mean I'm inauthentic. It just means that I'm choosing what I give you access to.
I love that. Choosing what I give you access to. That's very powerful. So we're talking about the algorithm. How do you continue to post content that's not dictated by the algorithm? And for a lot of people that want to get into the creative industry, the algorithm doesn't favor you immediately. True. And the algorithm favors consistency. So there was a time when I was consistent. That was great. And I would see that there's growth. But because I had to take a sabbatical and figure out what it is that I'm actually doing before I consistently put out content, the algorithm kind of forgets about you, right? Or if you're starting off, it doesn't really know about you. How do you continue to show up without your brand being dictated by the algorithm?
One thing about numbers is it's a very real feeling to feel discouraged by that, because the whole reason is, as much as we may want to say, oh yeah, I'm doing it because I love it, at the end of the day, if you see people monetizing from it, you also want to monetize it. You want to
monetize as well.
It has to be it's a labor of love, yes, but it also has to give you something in return. Imagine you loving on someone and you're the only one who's just, and they're not giving you something.
No reciprocity.
You know what I mean? So I do understand that, but also you have to understand that we all don't blossom at the same time. I know Jackie Aina, for example, she spoke about how long did she do content before she actually blew up?
I think because she was an army girl before. It was almost a decade before, she was
over a decade. Yeah. That's over 10 years, and someone, I'm not going to die, no one. For some people, they start social media today. In the next 3 months, they're like a whole internet sensation and all that. But I think what I'm realizing is, we're talking about community and authenticity and people resonating with you. It's not really about having hundreds of thousands of followers. I think sometimes, to a degree, you need the numbers, but to a degree, I think some brands value community over anything.
Community, yeah.
Because you may have 100,000, not be able to sell even 1 unit of the product. But exactly. They have 3,000 followers and they can sell you 300 units of that product. So I think it's very important to also have grounding. Some people that have faith have God as their foundation. So even if a storm is to come, they're not moved. So when I also ceremony foundation, you're easily going to get phased and moved by trends and people and opinions and things like that. So wherever your faith is rooted, as for me and my house, it's the Lord.
Period.
I'm not easily moved by opinions. I can cry a little, but I'm not moved because I know what I want to do. I know the impact. Even if it's one person that said, oh no, watching your video saved my life.
Exactly.
That's the purpose at the end of the day. As much as we want money, but what's the purpose behind what you're doing? I think that's
Purpose is
something
everything. I love that. I think it's so important for people to, because the numbers thing is hectic.
It's very
It can be
demotivating.
very depressing for a creative.
It
if they're
is.
posting and posting and no one is saying anything. But I'm learning to value the people that you were sent to. Also having the mindset that, guys, my faith is that Jesus Christ is God. He came and he died and he was resurrected for everyone. And not even everyone subscribes to that lifeline that we have been given. So if people can't all accept him, and it's a remnant, it's a few people. If all you have is a remnant of genuine community of actual people that are like, you know what, your work, the words that come from you, your content, it actually blesses my soul. I would rather have 5 genuine comments than 100,000 random comments
that are following you for the wrong reasons and what it is you're not trying to build. Makes sense.
What lesson do you think content creators learn too late? You've been doing this for a while.
Self-control. It's not
Go deeper, Papa. Go deeper.
It's not everything that comes your way. It's not every plate of food that you're offered that you have to eat from, right? And it's not every negative comment or negative criticism that you're supposed to respond to. I don't know.
That is powerful.
If that makes sense. So just because the food looks appetizing, you could be allergic to fish. Why are you taking it?
That is powerful.
Why are you taking it?
She's totally biblical. Do you know that? There's a scripture that I read in Proverbs, and it was like, when you're sitting at the king's table, put a knife by your throat. Don't do too much. Don't get too excited because of what you see in front of you. Self-control.
Yeah, you might even take a brand that doesn't align with who you are. I always tell people, and I'm like, okay, fine. Mandipa brand rema tract. What am I supposed to do with tractors? The money might be good, but it's not an opportunity that's for me.
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you look at a brand like EcoCash, for example, it makes sense because I use EcoCash.
It's a day-to-day EcoCash user.
And it's a day-to-day lifestyle thing. But I don't have the audience for farmers. So sometimes you need to, then when you go with your analytics to that brand and whatever your deliverables, it's going to kill your career early on because you don't have the audience for that. So no one resonates and they don't have return on investment on you because you don't have the audience.
And your audience can't trust you as well. Because
exactly.
What are we doing?
Rose
Nivea. Butter pizza. Like, it's not that you can't do everything, but jack of all trades, master of none.
And don't respond to negative criticism. You need to have self-control. Before we move into our final question, I actually want you to genuinely elaborate more on that because I know that you've had experiences virtually with people having opinions on your brand, on your life, and so forth. And it's so easy to say something in defense of yourself. It's natural. It's human to want to defend yourself. So I was watching a video by Kim and Tanaka. And I think I forgot exactly what happened, but they had made a statement about something or done something. And then Kim then came on the video and basically trying to show people her perspective and her side of the story. And what I learned from that encounter, in as much as everything she said made so much sense, people have already made their mind up about you before you even open your mouth. I know people that are beefing with me right now that hate me to the core, but they don't know me. They've never interacted with me. They've never spoken to me a day in their lives. So it's very important to know that no matter what is said about you, there's people that know who you are. There's people that like you. There's people that don't, no matter what. And there's people that just don't care who you are. Okay. So if you understand that concept of life, you're not really moved. You can be hurt. You're human at the end of the day. This is flesh and blood. Yeah. It's going to hurt. Yeah. But what you do after that is what matters. You're not responsible for what people do to you. You're responsible for how you respond. Because let's say you come to me and you criticize me and let's say you drag me or whatever, right? You do what you do. You felt it was right for you, which is perfectly fine. But how then I choose to respond says a lot about me as compared to what you say about me. Okay. Do you get? I get it. Yeah. That is very powerful. So I've gotten to a point where I said I can't control how people treat me. I can only control my reaction.
Your reaction. Okay. So final question before we go into flash five. When your son grows up and watches your content, what do you hope he learns about stewardship, about motherhood, and about purpose?
That is a very deep question. I don't even know where to begin. But I want him, I hope that my content shows him how resilient I was. And I hope it always inspires him to be rooted in Christ and to always go after what he wants, regardless of what the next person thinks of him. I see that in him right now. He's already sure in himself and who he is. You can tell what kind of a child you have from a young age. Just one thing I'm realizing right now. He's stubborn, but in a good way. Like, you can't make him do things that he doesn't want. And I hope that growing up, he also sees that I am kind of like that, especially now. And
so you gave birth to yourself?
Pretty much. With a different face, though. But I hope every time he sees my videos, when he feels like, oh no, the world is against him, he's faced with the realization that he's rooted in Christ and the world is his oyster and he can do all things through Christ who strengthens him.
Amen. Well done, Mama.
Thank you.
Okay, flash five. First answer that comes top of your head. Okay. YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok?
YouTube any day.
One brand you'd love to work with?
Nivea. Please call me.
Favorite camera?
DJI Osmo Pocket 4 Pro.
One habit that changed your business?
Obedience.
Finish the sentence. Community is
powerful.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. One last time for the people. Please tell us about the next Mommy Edit event.
Mommy Matcha, 22 August. Matcha, Pilates, Wellness, all things girly, Betty Mommy, whatever you like to call it. Betty Mommy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a fantastic episode. I hope you managed to get great insight, great direction for your personal brand. And I really, really hope and pray that there's a mother somewhere who listened to that and felt seen and heard and does the right thing and immediately goes to the Mommy Edit on social media so that you can find community that's going to further nurture your journey in motherhood. I'm super excited for today's Manna Moments because I've been reading the book of Proverbs. I finished the book of Proverbs. What a great book. Read me for full a lot of the times, but it has so much wisdom and knowledge and understanding in there. And our Manna Moments today is going to be reflecting on community and the Proverbs 31 woman. And the community doesn't happen by accident, whether it's family, a business, a platform. Wisdom builds it, and it happens when one is faithful over time. In Proverbs 31, you hear it say about the Proverbs 31 woman, who a lot of people are confused about that. Because if you read it nicely, actually, you'll notice that Proverbs 31 is not for women. It is rather a mother that is giving counsel to her son, who is King Lemuel, and telling him what a virtuous woman is. And there's a part that describes her as one who builds her house through diligence and wisdom, because wisdom builds her house. And I think it is so important to get wisdom. Wisdom is not intelligence. Wisdom is not being smart or logical. It has no rationale behind it. Wisdom is literally getting inspiration from the Spirit of God. And the only way that you can steward community, that you can steward a business, that you can steward a platform is by wisdom giving you the intel and the knowledge and the information on how to carry that thing well. And so I just want to encourage you in today's Manna Moment to go and read the Proverbs 31 woman. I think we had a conversation today with the Proverbs 31 woman, one who takes care of her home, one whose husband is praised at the city gate, one who has taken care of her household while she's still taking care of herself. And I hope that you are inspired by that Proverbs 31 woman to go and read for yourself. If you are a man, go and find out what it is that you need to find in your purpose partner. If you are a woman, go and find out what it is to become a purpose fulfiller. But that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe. If you feel like there's anything that resonated with you, leave a comment. Make sure you screenshot it and share it with another creative who will benefit from this. And I will see you next week. Bye, sis.